everyone. Today our story is going to be a little bit shorter, but we're joined by a special guest, my cat Frankie. Frankie might not stay the whole time, but she's welcome to hang out and listen to the story as long as she likes. Today we're going to read The Tortoise and the Hare. This particular telling is illustrated by Krista Brauckmann-Towns and Marty. It's adapted by Mary Rowitz. The Tortoise and the Hare. One day, a fast hare hopped into the path of a slow tortoise. "It must be awful to be so slow," said the hare. "Fast is the only way to go." The tortoise slowly shook his head. "Fast is your style, but slow and steady gets me where I want to go." "As long as you're in no hurry," said the hare. "If you were ever in a race, you would surely lose." The tortoise shook his head again. "Don't be so sure. I've won a few races. Perhaps I could win another today." "Are you saying you want to race me?" asked the hare. The tortoise nodded yes, as quickly as he possibly could, which was not very quick at all. "Okay then, let's race," said the hare, "but you'll never win." "We'll see," said the tortoise. "Slow and steady wins the race." News of the race spread quickly. Friends of the hare and the tortoise gathered to watch. Nobody understood why the slow tortoise would race the fast hare. "The tortoise doesn't stand a chance," said the fox. "Even when he runs, it looks like he is standing still." "The hare is the fastest animal around," said the squirrel. The tortoise didn't listen to what the other animals said. He kept saying to himself, "Slow and steady wins the race." The hare heard the tortoise and chuckled. "Slow and steady? Let me tell you, I could slowly and steadily eat 4 bushels of carrots and still beat you to the finish line." "Race along the dirt path," said the fox. We will take a shortcut and meet you at the finish line." Then the squirrel waved a red flag to start the race. They were off. The hare sprinted off to a very fast start. He kicked dirt into the tortoise's eyes. "See you later, slowpoke," the hare said, laughing. The tortoise did not mind that the hare was teasing him. "I'll have the last laugh," the tortoise said to himself. "The hare is in fine form today," said the fox. "Just look how fast he is going." "And look at the tortoise," the squirrel said. "He's hardly moved at all." The tortoise didn't listen to what the others were saying. He focused only on the dirt path ahead of him, and slowly but steadily he kept moving. The tortoise would not stop, even for a moment. "Slow and steady wins the race," the tortoise kept repeating to himself. "Slow and steady wins the race." The hare got very far, very fast. He was so far ahead that when he looked back, he couldn't even see the tortoise anymore. The hare stopped running to take a break. He was already huffing and puffing. Then he began yawning, too. The tired hare wondered why he was in such a hurry to reach the finish line. He decided to take a short nap alongside the road. "I could sleep for hours and that slowpoke still would not catch up to me," the hare said. "And even if he did, I would surely wake up as he walked by." The hare fell fast asleep alongside the racecourse. Hours later, the tortoise finally caught up with him. As he got closer to the sleeping hare, the tortoise could hear his snoring. He seemed to be in a very deep sleep, but the tortoise didn't want to take any chances. Very carefully, the tortoise walked past the hare on his tiptoes. He moved extra slowly and extra quietly so he would not wake up the hare as he walked by. The tortoise smiled with pride when he passed the hare. "Slow and steady wins the race," he whispered as he headed towards the finish line. "Slow and steady wins the race." As the tortoise looked down the dirt path, he could see everyone was gathered at the finish line. The tortoise could hardly wait to see their looks on their faces when he crossed the line first. When the hare finally woke up, he saw a trail of tortoise footprints. He leaped to his feet and looked ahead to the finish line. The tortoise was just about to win the race. The hare ran down the path as fast as he could, but it was too late. The slow and steady tortoise had already won. The tortoise looked very pleased with himself. It was not every day that he beat a fast hare in a race. The hare felt foolish that he had lost to the tortoise, and he was very tired from running so fast at the end of the race. He fell to the ground to catch his breath. The fox let out a long whistle. "Tell me," he said to the tortoise, "how did you beat the fast hare?" "It's like I always said, slow and steady wins the race." The end. That was a story of perseverance. Perseverance means never giving up. Early in the race, it would have been easy for the tortoise to quit. The hare was winning by so much that it looked like the tortoise could never catch up. Even though everyone laughed at the tortoise and no one thought he had a chance of winning, he kept going. The tortoise showed the other animals anything is possible with a little perseverance. As you grow, you will learn things that don't always come easily. Sometimes we have to work a little harder to be good at something. But as the tortoise shows us, wonderful things can happen when you don't give up.